In this video, I'm going to be going over how to win more Showdown games in season number 5 in NBA 2K25 Myteam, giving you guys all of my tips and tricks on how to win more games, giving you guys my strategies while building a team, showing guys my defensive settings, what freelance I run, and then also talking about rhythm shooting like stick shooting in 2K25 and why you guys have to be using it to be successful in Showdown in season 5 and just in 2K in general. So the first thing I do want to talk about is going to be your lineup construction, and I don't mean the exact cards you have because, for example, I'm playing on my boy's account and he's got a crazy good team, but even on my no money spent team, I kind of have the same formula and the same strategy when I'm building this squad. And what I mean is, for me, you want to have at least one lockdown defender and you want to have at least one main ball handler. So for example, with a squad like this, we're going to look for a main ball handler, right? You have a Pink Diamond Dr. J, he's a really good option. If you have an Austin Reeves, he's a really good option for a main ball handler. Jason Richardson. Again, I'm not talking so much about, what cards you should necessarily be using, because I know people aren't going to have Shea, aren't going to have Magic, aren't going to have, maybe Austin Reeves or Ron Artest. But what I'm going to do for this squad specifically is I'm going to put Austin Reeves at my starting point guard position. You get him from the Pro Pass. So if you want to run a good offensive point guard, maybe you got that free Galaxy Opal Zach LaVine, he can kind of replace Austin Reeves here in this squad, right? And it doesn't have to be your point guard, has to be your scoring card. It can be your shooting guard, it can be your small forward, it can be your power forward. Just pick a card that you want to run your offense through and who's going to be your best offensive player and your best scorer. So for this specific squad, it's going to be Austin Reeves. And then as my lockdown defender, I'm going to go with Dark Matter Ron Artest. Again, for this specific squad, on another team, you can use a Diamond Bruce Bowen. He's going to be a really good lockdown defender. You can use a Pink Diamond Danny Green. You can use a Pink Diamond Ron Artest, and it's basically going to do the same job for this specific role. So I'm just trying to explain to you guys, how to build your team and how to construct it, not necessarily the cards I'm actually using. So now we have that one lockdown and we have that one main ball handler. At small forward, I like to have a guy that can do both, and I think Kevin Durant would be a really good option. I think Scottie Pippen would be a really good option, again, for this specific team. Giannis is really good at small forward just to have that height, being 6'11". So if you can get a tall small forward, a Jonathan Bender, a Lauri Markkanen, a Galaxy Opal Giannis, those are obviously really good choices as well to have a tall small forward. I think having a tall small forward is what I prefer going with for my specific squads. I think having that tall small forward helps you really on the defensive end, being versatile and creating a lot of mismatches on offense as well. Now for power forward, there's really not like a specific thing I'm looking for. I'm not looking for a defender, I'm not looking for an offensive card. I'm just looking for like my best power forward. So for example, with a team like this, I could just go for Dark Matter Chet. If you want to use Pink Diamond Khalil Ware, you want to use Diamond Jaren Jackson Jr., those are just good power forward options. Preferably a good defender. I like to have more defense on my team than offense, so preferably at power forward, you want to have a really good defender. But the main thing you want to have, I guess, is size. You want a card that is most likely 7 foot or taller. Jaren Jackson Jr. is an exception at 6'10" because of his wingspan and how good of a defensive card he has. But like Diamond Tyson Chandler, Pink Diamond Khalil Ware, those are really good budget options as well. So Chet, for example, will be our power forward here. Good defender, does have that size. And then we can go for Kareem as our starting center, or I think we have Pink Diamond Wemby, right? Wemby is a card that, again, it's expensive. I'm building a god squad here. Wemby sort of is a must-have card just because he's 7'4" with a 7'8" wingspan. So if you don't have Wemby, again, there's budget options that you can obviously use. A Pink Diamond Zach Edey is a really good option if you want a tall center. I prefer to have tall centers on my team. That's just me personally. You don't necessarily need to have a tall center, but this is sort of the line of construction that I'm looking to help you guys build, right? It doesn't have to be these specific cards, obviously, but we have our main ball handler in Austin Reeves. We have our secondary ball handler in Ron Artest because he can also run some sort of offense. You don't want to just have one card that can score. You want to have a secondary ball handler, and then you want to have, to me, kind of just that glue guy, versatile card in Giannis. He can defend, he can slash, he can rebound, he's tall for his position. I think he's obviously really good to have kind of as just that middleman glue guy, next to your really good scorer and your really good lockdown defender. And Giannis can be a lock as well. I mean, he's such a good on-ball defender, really good help side defender as well. And then, like I said, just have those tall power forwards, those tall centers in your lineup. I mean, I'll put a bench obviously in here quickly. Like Shea can be kind of my scorer and my on-ball defender because he's literally just that good of a card. But for example, we'll probably run our offense through Brandon Roy. Then we kind of need a lockdown here, so we'll go for like a Scottie Pippen again. He'll be our main lockdown. For power forward, we'll probably go for Hakeem, and then center, we'll go for Kareem. Again, I know I'm building a crazy good team. I know people aren't going to have this good of a squad, but just wanted to talk about the lineup construction and kind of my strategy, because I do think it matters. To me personally, you don't want to put 5 really good offensive cards, but can't play any defense. And on the flip side, you don't want to put 5 defensive cards. Yes, you're going to get stops and you're going to get, you know, a low scoring game, but you're not going to be able to score the ball. So it's like, you kind of want to have that mixed balance of scoring and defense. And this is sort of how I build my lineups and why I do think it matters. Now, to talk about the coach game plan, you can set your defensive settings in the lineup management screen. And these are sort of the defensive settings I run. I'll show you guys what I run. So on ball pressure is going to be on smother. Off ball pressure is going to be on tight. That's just what I personally run. You can maybe put this to moderate, but I feel like you're going to get shot over the top. So I like to put that on tight. For on ball screen, I like to go over. For on ball screen center, I also like to go over as well. Just me personally, I like fighting through screens. And I think it's the best way to play defense. Now for the hedge, I like no hedge, but you could go soft hedge or you could go catch hedge. Again, for me personally, I do play no hedge, and maybe I'll explain that here in a second, how, like, you know, if you don't know what a hedge is, I can explain, you know, what a no hedge obviously is. But yeah, stay attached is always going to be on always. Off ball screen, I like to go over. The post doesn't really matter. Double team perimeter, set that to manual. Double team post, set that to manual. And I would just switch auto, honestly, for this. Pre-rotate on no. And then this is honestly some of the most important defensive settings, is your screen help rules and your drive help rules. You want to make sure both of these are on no help, because if you guys have these on help with no rotation or automatic, what's going to happen is if somebody drives and gets past you, what's going to happen is the corner is just going to completely leave and you're going to give up a wide open 3. So definitely make sure you're putting on screen help rules and drive help rules to no help. And then also on cutter help rules, I put no help as well. You just don't want anybody giving wide open 3s, and that's kind of what happens if you don't have these defensive settings. And then the freelance I personally run, it's between 5 out and it's between Bucks 2018. Either of those, in my opinion, are good. I run 5 out personally, but also Bucks 2018 is a really good option. So those are like the defensive settings, the offensive freelance that I do run. I think that's kind of what I'd recommend. Again, you can tweak with your defensive settings, you can tweak with the freelance if you guys want to, but just giving you guys my personal preference and what I like to run. You guys want to copy that, you can. If you want to maybe look more into it and, you know, really make your actual decisions, you can. But if you just want to copy it, that's what I do run in game, and I do think it's the best for me personally and my play style. But quickly, just wanted to talk about rhythm shooting. I have a whole separate video talking about this and actually explaining how it works. But you guys want to get good at rhythm shooting, get good at stick shooting. It's basically the same thing. So normally if you guys shoot with X, right, like a lot of people, you know, X on Xbox and I think it's square on PlayStation, that's how a lot of people have shot always in 2K, right? And you guys can see I'm shooting with X right now, and yeah, you're still able to green shots, but I'm on like a low difficulty, and, you know, obviously I'm just playing in a freestyle. But in game, you get so much more of a boost if you're shooting with the stick. So kind of how it works, again, this is going to be a very simple explanation. If you guys want to go watch my other video, me going more in depth of how it actually works, you guys can definitely go do that. But what it is basically, instead of shooting with X, you're going to take the right stick, you're going to hold down, and then you're going to flick up, and you're going to time it. It's going to take a lot of practice. I said this in my other video. You are probably going to suck for like the first day, or the suck for the first like 5 hours, honestly, of using this. Like, it took me a whole day, maybe 2 days of consistently using the stick before I got actually somewhat good at it. It's going to be horrible. You're going to think you suck. You're going to think it's the worst thing ever. I promise you, if you stick with it and you practice and you lab and you just sit in freestyle and you just constantly try to practice that sort of hold down, flick up, right? The right stick, hold down, flick up. It is super simple once you get it down, but it's going to be very, very confusing and very hard to time at first. So I just want to give that kind of as a warning that you're not going to just go do this and start shooting 100% from 3 in your first game with it. Definitely go to freestyle, go into some offline modes, use cards that have good jump shots, and just practice, again, holding down on the right stick, flicking up. It's a timing, going to take time to get used to, but if you do it, it's going to give you a huge boost in games. Like, it is so much better. There's a crazy difference. Like, I used to always shoot with X, but now that I shoot with the stick, I will never go back to X if it's like this, obviously, for the foreseeable future in 2K. It just gives you so much more of a boost. It's so much easier to time, and it's just so much better. So definitely recommend you guys using the stick. Don't just hop into a showdown game with it and try using it for the first time. You obviously want to practice. You want to go into freestyle. You want to go into offline game modes, and you want to practice that, lab it up, get some, you know, reps, get some experience with it, and then maybe start working into online games once you do get it consistently down. But that's something I would 100% recommend to help you guys win more showdown games, is going to be that stick shooting. But these are just kind of like the basics, like how to build your team, defensive settings, freelance, and then the stick shooting. I'm gonna hop into a showdown game here quickly. Not gonna play the full game or anything. If you guys want to watch me play full games, you guys can hop over to Twitch at Evan Tanaka. You guys can watch me play showdown, watch me play online games. Yeah, so, and you can watch my gameplays as well if you want to watch me actually play the game, but I'm going to show you guys some tips in game and just how I do play. So we'll hop into Showdown. Again, not going to play a full game here, but we'll give a little bit more tips and tricks and kind of strategy in the actual game and just how to obviously set up your freelance and stuff like that. So let's hop into a Showdown game and give you guys some more tips and tricks on how to win more games in season number 5. Okay, so my opponent's team is absolutely insane. He's got 100 overall MJ, he's got Galaxy Giannis, Galaxy Wemby. He's on the mic as well, so we're gonna have to go ahead and mute him. But yeah, he's got a crazy team. Again, I'm not playing the whole game, and I'm kind of glad I'm not playing the whole game because this would probably be an absolute sweat fest. He's 36th in the league, and yeah, like we have a good team as well. I'm not saying I have a bad team, but just that is a pretty ridiculous team. So how you guys want to set up your freelance is on the arrows. You want to click the right arrow, then you want to click RB on Xbox to click freelance, and then you want to click A to click 5 out, and that's going to set up your 5 out freelance. And now, as you guys can see, they should be in a lot better spacing. You can see their 5'd out spacing. Again, I'm not really caring if I win or lose this game. I'm just, as that is a horrible block to then obviously go in. So great game, 2K. But yes, I'm not really focused on like winning the game. I'm just trying to explain some stuff actually in game so you guys can see how to do that. So that is how, you know, obviously you set up your freelance. Just for anybody that is wondering or maybe doesn't know how to actually do that. And now to talk about offense, I just run mainly pick and roll. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't really ever try to ISO. Fades are obviously really good still. I don't know why I shot with X, that was my fault, but fades are obviously still really good. If you can get the fade timing, would definitely recommend shooting those. Is pretty sure he just hit a white. But yeah guys, on offense I mainly just run pick and roll, and what I'm looking to do is either get downhill, obviously look for a dunk, look for a layup, right? For example, with Austin Reeves, get an easy wide open dunk, run to the rim. I know it's pretty cheesy and like people just say you just run to the rim every possession, and you know, obviously I shoot threes and you want to 3-hunt as much as possible, but I think just starting off the game, trying to get downhill, make him have to worry about the downhill drive, and then eventually, you know, try to get into like a pick pop situation. For example, if we get a screen here with Wemby, I'll try to show you guys that pop animation. As again, this is not a great matchup because my opponent is, you know, in a high tier, but you can see how we kind of pop to that 3-point line. That's obviously a really effective way to score as well. But trying to get back here in the pick and roll, see if we can show you guys a really good pop animation. See how we popped to the 3-point line there? I know we got blocked, but I was just trying to show you guys that pop animation. So that's sort of what I do on offense, is I like to either get downhill with my point guard, my offensive card, my Austin Reeves, my Dr. J, my Jason Richardson, my, you know, whatever card you have, my Michael Jordan, whatever card you have that's really good at scoring the ball. That's who I try to either get downhill with, or I try to use that pick and pop to my center to obviously get a wide open 3. You can obviously just send them on a roll as well, so they can just roll to the basket and then you can get a, you know, a bucket that way. So I'm gonna go around this screen. I'll try to show you guys maybe like an actual possession of me playing. Gonna snatch back animation. We do miss, so I got to be able to green that. I haven't used Austin Reeves in a while, but yeah, I know I'm gonna lose by a lot of points and I'm not really trying here. I'm just trying to explain some stuff. So we did get a wide open look, just unfortunately missed. But yeah, other than that, on offense you can send backdoor cuts. It is a really effective way. We had a wide open lane there, but for example, if I want to send Ron Artest to cut to the basket, we click LB to pull up his buttons, and then we click B and it's going to pull up this screen. Then we click Y to cut to the basket. As you guys can see, he's going to cut in. It's very cheesy, it is very broken, so I just will say that, but it is a way to win games, and it's definitely a little bit overpowered and, you know, a little bit frowned upon in the 2K community, just backdooring every play, but it is really effective. It's easy to guard, so you kind of have to mix it in. You don't just like literally do what I did and just stand there, because people will obviously, you know, catch on to it and it'll be really easy to guard. But as you guys can see, you're going to get some decent looks at the rim, and it's just another way to score the ball, you know, not just running pick and rolls every single possession. Throw in some backdoor cuts, right? Maybe throw in some ISOs if you want, but mainly guys, that's what I do. I run pick and roll about 90% of the time, and then the other 10% I'm running like a backdoor cut. Is sort of what I like to try to do. But just give you guys some like little basic tips here. I know it's nothing insane, some crazy like advanced way to play this game, but it's just very simple. And then on defense, I try to talk about defense here. It's kind of hard because he's playing at such a high fast pace that I don't really have time to like actually commentate about what's going on. So I'll try to show you guys like a defensive possession here. What I like to do personally is I like switching between on ball, like actually, you know, guarding the player, and then switching off ball. So see, I'm on Ron Artest, but then I'm going to switch to like maybe Chet to go send a bait, right? And then he might throw this pass. See how we just made him throw a bad pass there because we baited that over to Wemby, you know, kind of wide open knockdown. But to me, like, I know people say, oh, you off ball in gameplays and I off ball, but like I'll play on ball defense here on MJ, right? Play straight up defense. But then if I get beat, you know, I should have switched on to Chet, and you can help. Like, you don't have to literally be on the on ball defender the entire game. If you get beat and you need help, you can pinch in from the wings, you can pinch in from the corners, and you can just try to play help defense. So it's not necessarily just staying on ball the entire time. but I do, you know, usually play on ball defense for a majority, clicking on, clicking off. So for example, we'll switch on to Ron Artest. He's our best defender. You know, try to stay in front of Brandon Roy. He's just been driving in like crazy. He's probably gonna get a wide open look here. Kind of a bad take. We're gonna get obviously a stop there, but yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I wanted to show you, just give you guys a little bit of tips on offense, a little bit of tips on defense. Again, defense, I like switching on and off. Other than that, it's pretty much just trying to fight through screens. And on offense, give you guys my tips and just kind of my strategy on the offensive end as well. So let me know if you guys have any questions. I know it wasn't the most in-depth explanation of actually how to play in game, but I think I'll give you guys a lot of strategies, a lot of tips and tricks that should help you guys out in Showdown. But if you guys have any more questions, you guys have anything you want to improve on that maybe I didn't talk in this video, or just any more in-depth questions, let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll try to get to every single one. But if you guys did find this video helpful, and you guys are trying to win more Showdown games, and you're just trying to feel more confident in game, definitely make sure to drop a like and sub down below. I'd greatly appreciate it. But just hope you guys did find this video helpful, and you guys did find it useful. But hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.